Who could have seen this coming?
Uh-huh.
I see.
Amazing.
Okay.
Truly, they're throwing rocks in glass houses. Moderators accusing others of pedophilia. Curious.
Methinks he doth protest too much.
It's almost like the, when lefties want people to stop using the word monkey because they see it as racist, because they think of black people. It's like, you were thinking of black people? Interesting. That was a case the other day, I think. I remember. Anyway.
Sounds like a sneaky story. Having to explain to people why they can't go around saying monkey is racist because it's implying they're the actual racist.
Yeah. Power move.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Power move.
I'm sorry. I need to hear that again so I can properly process what you just said.
Based.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then termites.
On the one hand, I applaud the clever loops you jump through. On the other hand, I'm so fucking incredibly disappointed in you and the people who let you do it.
I had no part of it.
Yeah. Gray just lets it happen.
What the fuck? Oh, man.
I just killed a woman. That's about it.
Just kill the woman. Feeling good.
I mean, if anyone in that series deserves death, it's Shadow Stalker's definitely up on that list.
I'm drunk and my name's SneakyDevil and this fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002. So, funny stories. I did some pregame drinking to try and, like, write the rest of the chapter that I'm supposed to write, that someone's paying me to write. And I ended up drinking so much that I forgot that I was supposed to write a chapter. So, that didn't work out as I thought it would.
Yep, sneaky moment.
You did too.
So, once again,
Just time
yet
travel.
another check mark on why Sleepy Sneaky is better than Drunk Sneaky. Sleepy Sneaky will remember to write.
No, Max encountered Sleepy Sneaky who's talking to someone else. If I had someone else in my chat, you gotta write this section, I'd be like, let's fucking do it. Yeah, no, Sleepy Sneaky is kind of just like, why am I staying up again? I'm going to go to bed. And then I'll wake up the next day being like, God fucking damn it, Sleepy Sneaky. You were supposed to do this thing. And because I was sleepy, I didn't do it because I forgot. And no one was there to remind me.
Amazing.
So anyway, I know you were all anticipating. Speaking of which, is Twitch saying that I'm unstable? Fuck you, Switch!
Switch, eh?
Switch. What's wrong with the Switch? What the Switch do?
What did Nintendo do to you?
I bashed my table a bunch and the Switch fell off its perch.
Oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
the Switch is a good boy. It doesn't deserve that.
Oh
Look,
god,
the finally
Stannis
showed
is
up.
here.
Hey, boy.
Stannis is here!
Excellent.
Oh boy, I've been waiting for him! Excellent!
It is time.
Boys!
He's been holding this for
Let's
like
go.
2 weeks.
Dude.
Stannis, fucking run, mate. He's listen. We can't see it, and for that we're blessed. But I'm pretty sure Sneaky needs a new pair of underwear right about
how
now.
American heroes like Spider-Man or Taylor Herbert would interact with the power restrictions in Japan.
Okay,
Well,
It's actually really easy. They would both be vigilantes or villains.
No, that's not true at all.
No,
Spider-Man would be a
Spider-Man
vigilante.
absolutely bent the knee.
No. Classic Spider-Man? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he would. He would
Dude,
if he was born
there's
into
an
that world.
entire thing called Civil War where
Okay, Atin.
normal
Atin,
adult-ass Peter Parker absolutely bends the knee.
There's the problem. Adult.
Wait. Okay,
Yeah.
if we're saying Peter
Adult.
Parker raised
After
in
20
the
or
world,
30 years.
No, I
experience.
because
Peter
Taylor
Parker-
Herbert couldn't exist in the world of My Hero Academia, so I think this is straight shit. Just like Spider-Man's fighting a villain and then gets thrown into a portal by the villain and then ends up in My Hero Academia.
even then, I think he would, after realizing the world he's in, go along with the rules of the world because it has an established rule set around heroes. Whereas in Marvel, it was always very touch and go.
No, I don't know. I think
not
the problem
really.
is
They
that
were
Spider-Man is a hero.
Vigilantes.
Yeah, but Spider-Man is a hero.
They were still true vigilantes.
Yeah, exactly. Despite everything, Spider-Man's a hero, and so he would absolutely follow the rules. And he would try and get a hero's license, and he would try and follow the hero rules. But if there was an option between following the hero rules and saving someone, he would save the person.
Absolutely.
True, but if he gets brought in to talk about to essentially so here's the thing. If he can what is the word I'm looking for? Explain to someone on the hero pyramid or whatever, hierarchy, his thing, I think they would understand it, considering powers in that world would allow for that.
Well,
Dimensional travel type shit.
Oh, well, honestly, I don't think. No, Peter Parker might actually.
As far as we know, no one's. I would say, as far as we know, no one's done any dimensional traveling in that universe.
Yeah, no.
But
technically speaking,
but Peter Parker, Peter Parker
no,
could definitely explain it. Peter Parker would be like,
The problem
okay,
is that in My Hero Academia, all of the superpowers are supposed to be. Keyword here, supposed to be. Despite what the author otherwise writes, are supposed to be biologically based, and there's no biological
what,
reason that you could explain someone gaining the power to travel to other dimensions.
Listen, the author claims it. It's not true. We're not talking about it. Like, the author claims it. It's blatantly untrue. We move on. That was for Stanish's benefit, not yours.
Let's see, Harry Potter plus.
Now, what's her name? What is the chick? Taylor? Taylor, I do believe would be a vigilante type. Because
absolutely.
her world
Taylor would
is
be a villain.
fucked.
Taylor would be a villain. There's
Straight up.
literally no about that. Taylor would end up.
Well,
Yep, terrorism time.
well, if she ends up dealing with the same bullies in Japan, then for sure. Like, are we assuming
not even
they
then.
live there or they're just transplanted?
No,
not
we're talking
even
about
then.
dimensional travel type
if they're
shit.
transplanted, or even if they grew up there, well, growing up there really wouldn't be applicable because Taylor growing up in Japan would not be Taylor. But Taylor just being transplanted in this hypothetical scenario would absolutely be a situation of her becoming a villain, because you gotta
Well,
Japan doesn't use the same definitions in My Hero
Well,
Academia that
sure, but
America
like,
does.
wouldn't that come down to what point in her personal journey?
Well, no,
is
but,
she,
like-
if she's there while she's with the Undersiders before Arms Master fucks her over,
literally at
she
any point.
might sign up.
No, literally at any point. The problem is that Taylor is the sort of person to be like, why wouldn't I put them down permanently? Even when she was a hero, she was still like that.
That again, though, that came after Arms Master dicked her over, and she ended up going full-on villain as a result.
Well, no, not even.
Like,
when she first took down Lung, she still attacked him with lethal force, and just happens because he was a regenerator, he happened to survive what she did to him.
I'm pretty sure she did that because he was a regenerator, and because that was the only way to stop him. I'm pretty sure she actually had a small moral thing of like, if this was anyone other than Lung, they'd be dead, and I would feel horrible. But he can probably sleep this off.
Yeah,
Granted, he still almost died because she completely.
She rotted his junk off canonically, so I don't know, man.
But she didn't intend to rot that up. Like,
what's wrong with my mic? Is anyone else getting bad audio on my mic?
no. I mean, I got a little bit of weird audio at the
You
beginning, but
got
it's
some
smoothed
weird
out.
drops, but like they've been
You've
smoothed
got a little
out.
bit of feedback on my end, but I don't know.
That's weird.
A
It's
little
probably
bit of
because of all
feedback.
the filters that I've placed on my mic before because of
Yeah. I
Anyway.
get the occasional robot sneaky. Apparently that's what Per's been getting
But
on
listen,
stream
the
as well.
best case scenario for Taylor would be she joins. The literal best case would be her joining Stain.
Yes, honestly, actually, yeah, no, she
Alright,
would end up,
Okay, if she meets with Stain and he actually takes a moment like, listen, this is why I'm doing this because this is how Hero Society's evolved. Taylor, once she becomes Skitter, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I will give you that. Because Stain, much to the author's dismay, Stain has a very solid argument. The only problem is the methods he goes about doing it.
We were actually talking about this earlier, is that unfortunately when My Hero Academia made its way over to America, characters like Stain actually found a lot of support in the American audience.
Yeah.
Well, because America has a much more lenient system towards vigilantism. Like, there's literally...
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we've
citizens
also had
arrest,
superhero
while
stuff
they're
like this
way
for a
blown out of
long
proportion
time.
with what someone
which,
can do,
just
citizen arrest exists.
I'm gonna be adjusting my audio, so just tell me if I stop roboting or my audio gets better at any point in time.
Will do.
Or it gets
Right,
worse.
but so we have things like citizen's arrest. We have a right to carry a self-defense weapon. So someone like Stain being like, you shouldn't be help people. You shouldn't be helping people for money. You should be helping people to help people. This whole system is terrible and shitty, and it lets people like Endeavor be labeled the number 2 hero.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly.
Which, by the way, if they had been, and maybe the author did this on purpose because they didn't want people to like Stain this much, if they had been more clear about what a shithead Endeavor was, Stain's argument makes way more sense. Like, when you learn about who Endeavor is and what he did, you're like, So when do we bust Stain out of prison?
God fucking. Well, I just want to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
What did you break this time?
Just had
Or,
to
sorry,
figure
what
out
broke?
the thing. So,
It's not necessarily your
so
fault.
we're going to be covering this story. So Stanish rejoice. We're not actually going to be covering this story, but I really just want to get your reaction to the various things that the author said in this story. So,
Why do you torture this poor man?
This is Potter.
Funny.
Game of Thrones crossover.
Who wrote it? I almost certainly know who it is. If
Joeen 1801.
Oh, so it's one of the ones I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
So there's a good reason for this. BT Dubs. Oh, there isn't a good reason for this actually. It's got 13,000 favorites.
What's the name?
The difference one man can make.
That sounds cringe to start already.
Oh, it absolutely. So basically, the premise is that Harry Potter kills Voldemort and then goes on a 15-year sabbatical, traveling across the globe, getting really comfortable with cold climates, and learning a bunch of magic like shamanism, druidism, and Norwegian Viking magic.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Okay, is
joking.
Norwegian Viking magic?
I'm not even joking about this, by the way. The author
That sounds kind of
specifically-
baller.
the author
Yeah, I was gonna say,
specifically
is one of the
names
spells-
Norway.
Listen, is one of those spells like I make a horn of meat appear in my hands?
No,
Could be.
it's just a bunch of strengthening runes and shit, and cold-based resistance runes and shit.
Yeah.
That is lame.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
runes
what
are
you're
a
really
thing in
gonna
Harry Potter
cringe at,
canon.
Stanish, is so in this story, the premise is that Harry Potter gets all of this power, and then ends up being transported to beyond the ice wall, 10 years before the.
Oh, I think I know this fic actually. Yeah.
10 years before the premise of Song of Ice and Fire. And there it is. And some of the major aspects that were really cringe that I really wanted just to hear your reaction to was shit like, so Harry decides he's going to become king beyond the wall. And in doing this, he seeks...
Why would Harry want to rule a bunch of savages? I mean, I guess he's British, so I guess it's...
No, you see, actually,
Harry's
it's
over.
because the author goes with the noble savage trait.
Oh,
trope,
good.
Where Harry hears about the savages and goes, yes, these are my people. They know how to communicate with the environment in the world. And their savagery is clearly just an indication of their rough environment and is not their actual culture. And by making their environment easier, their culture will clearly change to a more British one. So yeah,
Interesting
anyway,
take.
he seeks out some big name dude who's got a lot of wildlings following him.
What's his name?
Then, I believe, or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And he shows up. He beats Then in a straight sword to sword battle. And without magic.
Yes. The wizard who's never had any sword training experience.
See, in the time skip, he got a bunch of sword training.
Yeah. Enough to make up for the fact that he started when he was like, what, 20-something?
Yeah.
Versus the person who trained from a literal child?
Yeah.
So again.
Yeah. So, anyway, then the story goes on to have Harry be like, alright, well, I need to arm all of my wildlings with.
Oh, is this the one where he just starts conjuring weapons?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like, I
think I
need
know
to
this one.
arm all of my wildlings with steel and weapons and armor. So he conjures a bunch of. I love this. So he conjures a bunch of iron ore with the idea that if he shapes the conjured iron ore, it will be more stable than conjuring a steel weapon.
This one.
Yeah, he also gets married, right? In this one, he
Yes.
gets like a
Main
waifu.
character. The girl with the wolf familiar. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking shit. Yeah, just create me a forge,
Whoop,
and with
Sneaky went
magical
robot.
fire, I shall create steel with conjured iron. And it's like, bruh, it's the charcoal that you use to create steel, bruh.
Yes, the power of carbon.
Hardbone.
Oh god,
Carbone.
it was so fucking
carbone?
cringe. I was reading the story and I was like, there's no way the next chapter can get worse. There's no way the next chapter can get worse. There's no way the next chapter can get worse.
Your own motto is.
Were
there's
you
always
just
more. It
saying
always
this
gets
to
worse.
yourself over and over in the hopes it wouldn't get worse?
Yes, I was.
I like that you go with it can't get worse, whereas when I find garbage fix, even I think of garbage, like, I can't wait to see how it gets worse. I appreciate the difference.
I'm an
In those
optimist at heart,
approaches.
Max. You know this.
Sneaky. You are one of the least optimistic people I know. I thought that I was a cynical bastard, and I met you, and went, boy, I downright believe in people compared to this man.
Look, man, I was literally talking to a veteran of Desert Storm before, and at one point in the conversation, he kind of just turned to me and said, man, I'm like an optimist compared to you. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Jesus Christ. I didn't gotta be called out like that to that degree.
I mean,
You must have made his day.
this guy must have been like, I can have faith in humanity, because I'm not this little garbage human.
Jesus Christ! From merely talking to this individual, I suddenly, my faith in humanity has been restored.
My faith in humanity has been simultaneously weakened and improved.
But yeah, this story is so fucking rad, and I'm just sitting here. As I'm reading the next chapter, the only thought in my mind is, man, Stanish, the second he hears of this story, is gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah, I've heard of this story is the thing. I know about this one.
Yeah.
I read it, I'm pretty sure.
Did you have an aneurysm?
Yeah.
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 It started out as the basic wank, and it's like, I mean, like, if you do something interesting, you maybe can save that, but...
Right. Yeah, and then
Yeah, no,
it
there
just
was no
kind of just
saving
went
that.
like hardcore on the wank, and it's just like, bro, what the fuck is even happening now? Oh, that reminds me. Oh shit, I never made that review. So is that speaking of authors being absolute fucking retards, right? So I was reading a My Hero Academia Bloodborne crossover recently.
Oh no.
No, hold on. It's actually okay.
Is it?
Yeah. Zuko kills 5 people. At like the start of the USJ incident. The villains show up and he's like, oh, villains are here, and then he's fucking blitzes towards them and cuts 5 of their heads off.
Based.
Yeah.
Power move.
Okay.
Big dick
I know
energy.
this story. I wrote it.
I was actually waiting for Stanish to drop that, personally.
I was there when it was written.
Yeah, no,
Not quote old magics to me.
But anyway, as I was saying, no, so the My Hero Academia Bloodborne story was actually fairly decent. But there was one point that I actually had a major problem with, is during the sports festival, Izuku pulls out a bow, and the author says Izuku pulled back on the bow. It's 120-pound draw, far beyond what any normal human could dare pull.
That is so not true. Author,
Okay.
author, shall I introduce you to the 150-pound English longbow?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like the current world record is a 200-pound draw. 200.
I'll grant you, 120 is beyond most people.
That's sort of most untrained people. Like 120 is a standard deer bow.
Let me rephrase that. Your average person is not going to be able to consistently use a 120-pound bow.
Right? Yeah.
They got to be trained for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they have to live that life of a deer hunter.
Right.
But no, absolutely. Like, yeah, no, understandably beyond the average human. But he's like, literally, it's beyond the human capability to draw. And I'm just like, author, I hate to break this news to you, but not only are you wrong, you're really fucking wrong. Because the draw on bows gets exponentially harder, not linearly harder. So, like, a 130-pound bow is significantly harder to draw than a 120-pound bow. And, like, that just, like, that scales. It's like a 150-pound bow is immensely harder to draw than a 100-pound bow.
I would say part of that's because of, how a bow actually sends an arrow, and the fact that you, the human, you're not trying to push 150. Right, you're not trying to push 150 pounds down. You're trying to pull what is essentially 400-something pounds back.
Yeah, exactly.
And bend it into a U, or as close to a U as you can get, so that arrow goes right through a human being's chest.
Yeah, and the 120 pounds of bow force is significant. It's
bow
it's
force
enough to
sounds like a fucking. Sounds like a workout routine.
Yeah,
I use Bowforce every day.
It is.
I mean, have you ever seen...
That's why Bowflex was so, like, actually successful, because they kind of recreated that phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you ever seen, like, archers? Like, how
like if
beyond
like actual
archers are?
Yo, yeah, their arms are fucking jacked. I get that. I'm just...
Well, not just their arms, dude. Their pecs and their back. Like,
their fucking neck, it's just like, Jesus Christ.
The core is nasty, too.
Like, listen. Archery is the epitome of skipping leg day. But if you don't care about skipping leg day, go pull a bow.
Yeah, like, literally, archery is right below swimming in terms of how jacked you are going to become due to it.
The only difference is, with archery, at least you can do something useful. Oh, and you don't have to shave your legs.
I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose so.
You don't have to as a swimmer either. They're just fucking weirdos.
Well, no, you see, Max.
Guys, my leg hair is slowing me down.
Leg hair is more drag, and so.
You know what? I would love to see the anime story of, like, it's time. What do you mean? I'm going to shave for this final race.
Begin shaving the leg.
I mean,
no, listen. Until they shave themselves bald and until they get the full body wax, and I mean the full body wax, I won't believe it. I want to see them remove every strip of hair from them. If it's that big of a deal.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah. Michael Phelps committed. Maybe that's why Michael Phelps kept winning. Maybe it's because he's actually a frogman in disguise. We'll never know.
I don't.
He is a frogman in disguise.
Yes, he technically committed. Yeah. So Stanish, because you're here, I do like to cover stories that you're familiar with. So besides,
we could just do Naruto.
Naruto.
I know. Your suffering must be more severe.
Oh, excellent! The Naruto fairy tale shouldn't be too difficult for you.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait, hold on, Sneaky.
You've doomed
Has
us.
someone done the monstrosity that is Naruto and the Dark Knight?
Naruto and the what?
The Dark Knight. Batman.
Oh,
Someone
I don't know.
probably
I don't like. I kind of just like black
There
out.
was a good story a long time ago that was DC Naruto. And it's basically just the Konoha 12.
I don't know. The last occasions of all.
I
Of
mean,
my
that could
DC
work. Like,
comics
let's be
encounters
right.
Have just been really
Most
bad.
of the ninjas, assuming they make it to like at least Geni Chunin, like they could fight most of the B-list villains. If they actually make it to the upper ranks of ninjas, like you can fight pretty much everything that isn't Superman because he's, a cheater.
No, actually, technically speaking,
due to the way. Yeah.
Technically speaking, ninjas would beat Superman because Superman's only immune to physical attacks, while canonically magical attacks are effective against him. And since chakra attacks are half spiritual in nature, they would be effective against Superman.
Well, I mean, it's one of those weird things. They would be of limited effectiveness against it because there's part of it that he's basically going to ignore. Like, I think it would also depend on the attack, right? Like,
Yeah.
fire, like a fire jutsu is probably not going to be way less effective against him because the man flies into the sun to recharge.
Well,
like,
Okay, but the sun isn't powered by spirit.
I know the sun isn't powered by spirit. Well, depending on what part of magic.
Also, the sun is a slightly different reaction.
It's a nuclear
Yes, but my point
the thing
is
he doesn't fly into the sun. He absorbs red sun yellow sun radiation.
No.
There is
Absolutely
some-
flown directly into the sun.
There have been a
Multiple
few
times.
stories where he did
Superman
that.
variations
He
where
has a
he
couple
flies
times,
into the sun
yes.
to heal.
But most of the time, it's specifically
Yes, it's
absorbing
specifically yellow
from
radiation.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those great things where, it'd be nice if you guys would have some sort of universal, like, enforcement whenever you hire new writers.
Oh, it would be
Just a
fabulous, but
Just a
that'd
fucking
be
thought.
gatekeeping, Max, and gatekeeping's bad, except when not us do it.
now I will say this: I don't think anyone out there is clever enough to write it well, except for maybe a couple comic writers. But I would really like to
Tom
see.
Taylor could write it.
I would really like to see Shikamaru and Lex Luthor engaged in a less than friendly chess match, both literal and metaphysical.
Yes, Lex, you may have beaten me in this chess match, but I've actually used my shadows this whole time to plant a claymore underneath your seat.
And Lex Luthor's like, but you see, I'm actually Brainiac Luthor. This claymore means nothing to me.
You mean the
about
claymore
this
I already
ID?
disarmed with my brain?
But like, shit posting aside, like I do think that would be like enjoyable. Both the literal like them playing chess or like 4D chess, and the Shikamaru is trying to stop him. Lex Luthor has yet another crazy plan to take over the world. Batman's off on the sidelines, like,
I think
okay,
it's
I got like half of this.
I think it's a really untapped medium. Isekai crossovers of non-main characters.
Yes.
Like
I said, I could
there was
really go for that. I think that could be super entertaining.
There was
I'm
an
not clever enough
Itachi-
to write it though.
There was an Itachi in Luis that was fun.
I just
didn't
want to
ever
get this
go
clear. I
anywhere.
consider any story with an Uchiha in it to be automatically garbage.
With an Uchiha in it.
Yeah.
So every Naruto story?
I don't
Yes.
see anything wrong with my statement.
Exactly. It is
Didn't
true.
you like Noodle Hammer stuff?
Doesn't mean it wasn't fucking hot trash.
Listen. I like. Listen here. There are plenty of video games I like that are garbage.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I like Final Fantasy XIV. It's a decent
Yeah.
MMO that plays to my nostalgia and has fantastic music.
Yeah.
I can admit that. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop trying to get people to play it though.
No, the problem is like, look, so Noodle Hammer's first Naruto story I thought was really creative and witty, and I mean, yeah, he did also like fucking gib the Uchiha, so that was another great aspect of it.
He did do that, didn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't mean it wasn't fucking cringe as hell. Where Naruto gets a fucking revelation about how to change the world by fucking a prostitute. I don't think you can get any more cringe fan fiction than that.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
in a prostitute.
No, what great revelation did he have
Sagehood.
while doing that?
He figured out how to be a sage without using.
I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate
What?
this.
Yeah,
Sage?
Noodlehammer wrote his Naruto stories with the explicit purpose of having Naruto fuck the brains out of anything and everything that was female above a certain age range.
Yes, he did. Not only that, he also hasn't read Naruto.
Yeah, all of his stuff was based purely off the wiki and the first, 10 chapters, I think it's up to the Zabuza arc, I think.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, based.
Oh,
Madman.
Kill me, please.
Yeah, so, I mean, all Naruto stories with Sasuke and Itachi in them are absolute fucking garbage. I'm already regaining feeling in my face, which means I need to be more drunk.
Cheers. I'll drink to that one.
Also, if you'll remember, Sneaky Noodlehammer did do a DC Naruto cross.
Oh, I know, and he fucking slapped around
continuity.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
find that.
in most cases, here's the thing, right? Something like the Rasengan, that would fuck him up, along with the lightning stuff.
It's pure chakra, so yes.
Yeah.
Anything
it's
that's
physical and
any
spiritual
pure
energy.
chakra-based attack would just annihilate that man.
Yeah. But anyway, so the story you can't distract me from, we're going to be covering today, is Fairy Lord by Lord of Crime. Arn, shut the fuck up.
I
wasn't gonna say anything.
We could hear you thinking it, you filthy Norwegian.
I can fucking hear you thinking it from here.
Racism? Cringe.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Cringe.
gonna trot my white privilege out and be racist to another white guy. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep, it's the only acceptable usage of white privilege.
This is honestly.
We truly live in the
this is how you
21st
do it.
century.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. You just go, yeah. Now that we've talked about my racist past, let's talk about my racist future.
Exactly.
My favorite line from
Let's
now
talk
on.
about my racist present as well.
What's the Persona meme? She said I have a racism problem. Bitch, my racism works just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me that video, yes.
So good.
So anyway, among a guild of destructive lunatics,
Sneaky.
a breathing dragon demon hybrid, and ice-using strippers. Naruto,
What?
Yeah.
What is happening? Okay.
Oh, it's Gray!
Yeah, I was like, that's right, I forgot. That is indeed a
What
character.
am I doing?
No,
That
not
was
you,
descri-
Gray. Other
No,
Gray.
not you. The
The one
There's a
spelled
character-
with an A, not an E.
Yeah, there's a character named Gray in Fairy Tale who
Why
uses
is
ice
my
magic.
name
always takes off his
associated
clothes.
with the fucking stripper?
It's
No, so he
Wait, what do
always.
you mean always? Hang on a second. How many times has this happened to you?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
More than one.
I've got
I
to say,
didn't say always. I said,
Yeah.
why is my name? You idiot.
Naruto
I gotta say-
Uzumaki stood out like an
when it comes
elephant among a
to
herd
anime,
of
Fairy
sheep.
Tale is the worst.
No history, no background, no info. They knew
you.
two things about him, though. He was weird and destructive.
Shut
So,
up.
this story has been updating since September 5th, 2020. It has actually recently updated as of April 22nd. And it currently has 42,000 words and a whopping 1,300 favorites. Which is an unacceptable amount of favorites for a Fairy Tail Naruto crossover. Completely
Wait a second.
unacceptable.
I'm gonna be
Also,
real
I
here.
do want to.
Yeah.
I do want to
We
say.
were talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We were talking about throwing Naruto into other worlds.
Yeah.
The one on space battles, the one that is the worm one. That's the best one. That's it.
The worm one? You mean the one where where Sasuke shows up in Worm?
Well, no. That it first starts with Naruto showing up, and then Sasuke shows up.
That sounds terrible.
Do you mean like fourth Hokage Naruto shows up? Because I know about that one.
Fourth Hokage.
No, it's not fourth Hokage. Sixth Hokage.
He fucks on one of the Endbringers. What the water one?
Leviathan. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know that story. That story was okay. Yeah, no, that story was actually good. But that's because that story was literally just post-epilogue Naruto power tripping on Leviathan.
Yes. It was just a really good fight, honestly. So.
I mean, it was okay. Didn't really see much point to the story. The really cringe one is the one where Sasuke ends up in a worm and is just as fucking edgy as Sophia and as likable as Sophia, and it's
okay. Hold on a minute. Okay, look, I can't believe I'm gonna say these words, but let me defend Sasuke.
Hold the fuck up! If you say more words, I'm going to ban you.
Here's the only words I'm gonna say. He's not Sophia.
Okay, you know what? That's actually fair enough point, yeah.
That's it. That's the sum of the defense. The defense rests.
Fair enough. You're allowed to stay.
The people call who the fuck cares, and I don't.
The people call who the fuck cares to the stand.
Listen, if we're gonna have anyone be as edgy as Sophia, listen, we're gonna have to take a trip over to Fire Emblem, where there's the Mad King Ashnard, who literally handed out his advisor roles to anyone who was strong enough to murder previous advisors. He's like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what race you are. Did you kill one of the 4 previous generals? You get to be a general.
Hold on, man. That's
just a meritocracy.
Method is a tried and true method, okay?
I'm just saying, like, here's the thing. You could easily transplant Sophia into Fire Emblem and have her work for the Mad King Ashnard.
I actually Gorath method, because of how the design of his rulers were to the reality of their situation.
What do you mean?
So the Gorath method is if you can kill the King of Mania or the Queen of Dementia, you become the next king,
the new
queen
one, right?
Of that faction. And the king was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm going to fucking die someday from someone overdosing my food on drugs, but man, it's going to be a wild party. And the Queen of Dementia's like, yeah, I'm going to get tortured to death, but, you know, I'm into that, so...
That's some kinky shit right there.
And he's happy with it.
So in the end, I technically win. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, as has been discussed, technically is usually the best correct to be, so...
This is true.
Taylor as the shield hero. Wait, your name is Mine Sophia. You have been removed from the party.
Circumvent the entire first arc.
Hold on. That implies that she would ever accept a redhead into her party in the first place.
That is true. All the lingering issues from that.
Wow, this manipulative redhead bitch is trying to get into my party? Wow, fuck this guy.
How's about no?
The thing is, redheads have done such an injustice in recent times in media. They're either being replaced by blacks, or the Japanese media is portraying them as like manipulative cunts.
I would say, I know lots of redheads. Some of them aren't even Irish. They're all perfectly nice people.
Well, they don't have souls, but it's a trial.
Okay, but that generally means they're better people than most of the people I meet.
That's fair. This story contains explicit scenes, unrealistic genitalia proportions, and actions regarding the human body, as well as other content suited for not this website, and is actually technically illegal on here. So don't report my story and enjoy. Also, if you don't like it, leave.
So maybe we should skip this one. In case there are TOS breaking scenes in the first chapter.
Maybe.
And maybe leave a report. Maybe
also,
leave a report on our way out.
Definitely report it, but I do kind of want to read it. Up until the point we have sexy times. Then we can go straight to the reporting. But I kind of really want to see how the author squares the circle of Naruto ending up in Fairy Tail.
You just want to see if you can make fun of it.
I do. You called me. Very important note. If you have read...
Art, if you don't mind being the boss here.
I mean, I was gonna let you do it, but fine.
If you have read my other stories...
Art, thank you for being the canary.
Then you know that I give my main character quirks to make them unique. Don't ask me why I do this.
Oh no.
I just believe that a quirky character makes them engaging and comical. On that note, please do not complain about any out-of-character moments from Naruto. These are part of his character and his development. I have tried my best not to follow the normal protocol of fairy tale stories, however. My story will be confusing, as I won't be explaining everything. Please do not react to the confusion. Simply express your ideas at a later date. Meaning to say what you think will happen instead of what would happen.
It is dangerously close.
Oh boy, we're just right there, huh, Arn?
I'm gonna be real. I
Dangerously close.
might not even make it through this author's note because of how fucking condescending this prick is.
Well, and how stupid it is.
I mean,
let's. Yeah, okay.
Listen,
So
I can handle condescending. I deal with condescending every day.
Yeah, it's not
I'm a bit annoyed
actual,
with this author.
Actual text. It's very close. It's describing the actions.
I see.
But not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We'll skip it then, just to be cleared of any regulations. I hope I have cleared all confusion pertaining to my story. With that out of the way, I'll let you enjoy it. Enjoy it, and let me know how much you enjoy it. You can give me ideas for future scenes. So.
I don't think I will.
No. First off, I'm going to report the story. I'm just going to go direct to reporting the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to go straight to report abuse, violation type, rating, explicit content, author's note, explains it all. Oh boy, I can't.
The author saying, I give my main character's quirks. Like, but these aren't your characters.
the 4 button. That would be why. How long has stream audio been dead?
Who knows?
What was the last thing I said? Did I say I would report it? I think it was what? About a minute. So basically my whole diatribe about how okay, you know what? I think it's for the best that my whole diatribe about how to not be banned from Twitch stayed censored. You know what? I think this actually turned out for the better.
That was your brain. You know what? Your brain was protecting you.
I think OBS is actually helping you for once.
Yeah, you know what? I think my whole diatribe about Twitch and how not to be banned, it's actually better off censored. I think everyone can figure out what I was going to say in the chat.
Yeah.
And just imagine what I would say to that situation, and you probably are mostly on topic of that. So to cover this story and my opinions on this sort of story, what really here is a mature adult story being written on a website that specifically bans mature adult stories. So first off, I'm not for censorship, but when a website says this is what our content allows, I am actually for following the rules of that website, because there's plenty of other websites out there. This is not a YouTube situation. You can make it big and you can still, get a following on websites that aren't fanfiction.net. This has been clearly established.
There is a site that's for you. It's called AO3. Go put your degeneracy there.
There's also a site called fanfictionadult.net where you put your
There's also questionable questing.
Yeah.
Tons of shit on there.
There's a whole bunch of websites already out there that specifically cater towards the mature adult. I'm going to write porn with plot stories. And don't get me wrong, Noodlehammer also wrote porn with plot. I also reported them.
It does exist.
It's
usually not very good, but it does exist.
Yeah. Don't forget Hentai Foundry. Didn't Hentai Foundry get shut down?
Nope.
Or was that Hentai Haven?
Nope.
Hentai Haven. I didn't get shut down. It's back, I think. I don't remember.
I was just saying, a website like that never stays closed for long.
Look, all I remember about Hentai Haven is that their logo was super close to HH and the stylized Nazi insignia, so I was always thought that was
great.
really funny.
It's pretty based.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it.
I'm sure.
God, it's so white.
Anyway,
For legal reasons.
Point being is that this story does not belong on this website to start off with. And even the stories that I favorite that violate the site's rules, I actually still report. It's just, I notice the report's just not going anywhere, so I don't really expect anything. So that's why I favorite and follow it anyway, because it's like, well, my report's not going anywhere. So I actually enjoy the story though, so I'm keep following it.
Might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so start off with the first red flag we're going to talk about here is I incorporate quirks into my main characters. So the author is starting off admitting that he is not writing Naruto. He is writing an original character that looks exactly like Naruto.
Wearing a Naruto skin suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like that is garbage. I feel like you are an absolute hack. Again, I can understand if you're going to write Naruto porn, fine. I understand you're writing porn, but it's still Naruto flavored, so you're fine. It's still Naruto, etc. Whatever. But when you take that step farther of basically turning Naruto into your original character, and then you write porn of them, you at that point are just using the Naruto tag to gain popularity. It actually has nothing to do with Naruto at that point. It's just purely using the Naruto tag to gain popularity. I'm almost certain, without even reading this story, whatever the story is called, Fairyland or whatever, I am almost 100% positive that I could go through this entire story and replace all mentions of Naruto or chakra with McBob McGee and chakra with special unique magic energy. And I would still be able to make the story coherent. Because that's how little changed.
Yeah, I mean, you probably make it more coherent, let's be fair here.
Well, honestly, yeah. Because the character's not pretending to be Naruto anymore. So this
I think I told you when I was reading Candy Shop, I literally just replaced Naruto's name with Joe.
Yeah. And like I said, it's fair. And don't get me wrong, like, I've favorited Candy Shop. I've favorited a lot of stories where it's a blatantly not Naruto doing Naruto universe shit. And it's because I'm not saying that those stories are bad. I'm just saying if these were original stories, they would be better.
Pretty much, yeah.
There is most of the cases that we do end up actually covering on this podcast are stories in where it's bad because it's Naruto, not in spite of it being Naruto. But you know, it's Dad's life, I suppose.
That's just how it be.
That's how the story goes. So we're going to move on from this story. We're going to cover our next one lined up. Let's see here. You know what? In honor of Ruby being sold off like the cheap-ass whore that it is these days, we're going to cover a Ruby story.
Okay, so I didn't... just because I dislike Hirohei immensely and I dislike his content immensely.
Understandable.
What exactly happened?
So the TLDR of Hirohei's video is that it is being sold as part of AT&T's offloading.
Yeah, under media division.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably because it's an easy thing to get rid of. Like, there's other just to be clear, there are other successful properties that AT&T is throwing out the door because they want the merger to go through. I'm not saying Rooster Teeth isn't a flaming pile of trash, just that it being sold is not necessarily indicative of AT&T's faith in it, merely that it is a property they feel they can let go in order to allow a merger to proceed.
Well, that sounds exactly like indicative of AT&T's faith in it.
No, like they're also letting wildly successful brands go as well, just that they think that the merger's more valuable. Like,
all right, back boys.
What
are we talking about?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. So anyway,
like it happens all the time. Where, right? Like,
What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, like Sneaky. It's getting rid of HBO. No, hold on. I'm sorry. It's getting rid of like the Food Network and HGTV, like things that make it plenty of money.
That's fair enough, I suppose. I kind of understand that, yeah.
Right. The merger is more important than any of the. Right. They feel they gain more value from the merger, which again isn't to say that Rooster Teeth isn't a flaming pile of dog shit. Just that AT&T may not feel that way about the properties inherent within.
Or the future value of said properties.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Which, again, can't believe I'm defending Rooster Teeth, but...
No, I understand, yeah.
I miss old RT.
We all do.
Well, it's never coming
the
back.
sad thing, right, Bernie went off to
down
Europe and is banging his new, even younger wife.
Wait, what do you mean, even younger?
He traded her out for a new model.
He was married to whoever he had his first kid with. Then there was Ashley, and then he broke up with Ashley, and now there's some other chick.
The fuck did he break up with Ashley? When did that happen?
I think it was before he moved to Europe, right, Sneaky?
Oh.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, it was a thing. He broke up with that, like, right? I guess he keeps leveraging the internet money to trade in for newer models. Sometimes literally in this case.
Yeah, well, you can only go so far with that, but, I don't think it really fucking matters at this point. Rooster Teeth's not gonna be around for much longer. Honestly, at this point, I'm expecting whoever buys Rooster Teeth to just fucking fire everyone in the company and just use them as a shell company for their IPs.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair enough. Not a bad use of that property.
I think someone would get use out of Ruby, but otherwise,
there's used to be had. There's used to be had out of Ruby. There's used to be had out of Red versus Blue, only because there's a bunch of sycophants for it. There's certainly used to be had out of Genlock.
Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, acquiring Rooster Teeth is probably one of the best moves you can do. Just literally fire fucking everyone, right? Go full Blizzard reconfiguration on this and just fire everyone and then pick up a bunch of really passionate indie developers for animation and shit and just be like, alright guys, we are gonna do reboots across the
hire some good writers.
Season 2.
I was gonna say, Genlock doesn't need a
Blue reboot. We're gonna.
They need a Cory Barlog of their own
and make it consistent. Let's fucking go.
They need
My
a Cory
dog died.
Barlog
Let's
type.
go.
I'm so fucking mad at the Ruby. I'm pretty sure it was almost solely the Ruby fandom. It was like a Genlock was crap. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, like there were that was when I ultimately lost faith.
Yo, they sabotaged
make
that
a good
so fucking hard. It wasn't even funny.
Like there was so much in there that was good, and it was one of the best shows where Rooster Teeth actually allowed progressive stuff to happen without doing it. Like at no point did any of the progressive stuff go, "Oh, here we go, they're blowing the left." It was just like, "Oh, okay, that's in there. Cool, it's part of their character."
Yeah,
no one's making a big deal out of it.
It's mentioned once, and that was it.
No,
because
the Ruby fandom. Back when Genlock came out, the Ruby fandom was fucking spurging over Genlock.
Yeah, it wasn't
great. They're draining resources. They're spending too much money. Oh my god, they literally every complaint you could ever have about Genlock people had. Which is just so weird because it was actually really fucking good if you know what mech anime are.
Yeah,
Even if you don't, let's be clear, Sneaky knew nothing about mech. Well, very little about mech anime. Correct, Sneaky?
Yeah.
And he still enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
It was a good watch. I've got a decent background in mecha anime. I appreciated every little thing going on in there.
No, I think the problem. I think I'm a bad example because I understood a lot of the non-mech references, like the Ghost in the Shell references, the Power Ranger references, the inherent tropes to the kaiju Sentai fights. I understood a lot of what he was pulling from.
But like comparably, like someone is gonna know what Power Rangers is. Or someone's gonna know what like maybe you have a wider range, but people will pick up on things that they know from their life, whatever that is.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just saying I might not be the best example. I'm not saying I can't be an example. I'm just saying I might not be the best because I certainly enjoyed it because of all of the references that I picked up on. But at the same time, I was also the sort of person that, as a child, that was like the shit I grew up on, with the Power Rangers shit and whatnot. And I wouldn't be. I'm not going to be that sort of person who's like, well, everyone grew up watching Power Rangers. Not everyone did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Listen,
Thing is, a lot of people did though.
I like Genlock enough that having seen the whole like Rooster Teeth is being sold now, I just went to see did they ever release a Blu-ray. Guess what? They did. I picked it up. It's half off right now.
Well, here's the real question. Here's the real question,
Just like
Max.
Rooster Teeth itself.
What are they selling Genlock for?
I don't know.
Money.
I
All I
honestly,
know is-
I think Genlock is a
I'll
clearly.
give you $5.
I think Genlock is honestly a undervalued property. I think the Gray being like shot out of the company by a cannon, I think that was a clear and blatant attempt by the company. Like, there was clearly someone in upper management that didn't like Genlock and didn't like that Genlock was like popular or even did well at all.
Well, and the thing that baffles me is, which by the way, it showed me that Michael B. Jordan, A, is a great voice actor, and B,
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, because he helped with that, didn't
yeah, he did.
yeah,
Michael B.
he
Jordan
helped
can
write that whole thing. He also helped fund that whole thing,
Yeah, he did.
which makes me sad because I was like, dang, I wish you'd made money on this, dude, because I'd like you to make more of it.
No,
Wasn't
no,
it actually his animation studio that he literally just started up?
Yes,
Yeah.
specifically for Genlock. Yeah.
It was so sad.
Dude is a good guy. Dude
No,
is a
and
good guy.
that's what I'm talking about though. Is that like Rooster Teeth pulled a Blizzard, and they went out of their way in every manner possible to make the next product they were outputting worse, specifically so they could get to an outcome where they could excuse themselves from having to continue it. What is the enemy of Genlock? I mean, like, in Genlock, the enemy is the European Union.
Base.
Based.
I mean, it's true. This enemy in real life as well.
But honestly, like, they marketed it. The marketing on Genlock was some of the worst fucking marketing I've ever seen.
Oh, they
beyond
did. They
not
did
marketing at
nothing.
all.
They did nothing for that show.
No,
Nothing.
because the marketing they did put out. No, because the marketing they did put out. I remember specifically saying to Max, "I'm like, holy shit, Genlock looks like a fucking shit show." Like I thought Genlock was gonna be this fucking progressive trash garbage because of the marketing they put out, where they're like, "We have an Arabic main character, and there's a black guy, and two people are gay, and look, they have colored hair." And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I do remember how like hard they leaned into the colored hair thing. I'm like, and like I was reminded of the I was reminded of the joke tweet. Oh, pray for my sister, y'all. My parents think she's gay. She's not. She just dyed her hair blue, but they can't tell the difference.
True.
It's true though.
But I was like, oof.
Yeah, no, that's the problem though. Is all of the trailers and teasers and all of the video content that they put out in terms of advertising for Genlock was possibly some of the worst ways to advertise it possible. Like the only way they could have advertised it worse was possibly not advertising it at all. But even then, I'm still hesitant to say that because I think them not advertising at all probably would have gotten Genlock more popularity if Rooster Teeth just came out one day and was like, "Yeah, hey guys, we made a new anime."
That's part of the reason that like I was able to enjoy Genlock going in way more than you guys is I saw the like 1 minute teaser trailer they gave us, and then I ignored everything else.
That's fair, yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be ruined if I look at the marketing because RT's been doing worse with marketing as time went on.
So fucking bad.
I wish I'd had Max's foresight to do that, but I saw enough. I liked enough of what I saw to be like, yes, I want to go into this, and then, right? It was the first show in forever where we all sat down for Rooster Teeth and watched it. And we were like,
That was really good.
so when's episode 2?
It was really
But there-
like it was really good. I even remember the episode where they got to one of the characters being trans online, and the response was like, "Why are you a dude?" Well, I just like being a dude online. All right.
Yeah,
Well, no,
it's-
and they were even like, I mean, it's not like I haven't switched 4 or 5 times in real life, and they're like, right? And they just casually throw it in there. It's like, yeah, they have the technology to just change that. So
It's like, alright, fair enough. You know what? Fine,
Also,
whatever.
I want to point out it was the first
I mean,
thing
we're swapping brains in jars here, so
Yeah.
fair enough.
It was good enough that it's the first time I remember watching something with you guys where at multiple points each of us were just telling the other two to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and trying to listen to the exposition.
Especially at the end of season 1 where they went with the whole ghost in the shell thing, where I'm just like, I fucking had a Spurg moment where I'm like, they're doing the thing! They're doing the thing!
There were so, right? We each got a moment where we were like, they're gonna do the thing. They're gonna do the thing. The thing is cool, and everybody else was able to go, the thing is cool.
The thing is indeed cool.
I remember being so hyped because the girl in the sniper mech was just a hunter. She was just a Destiny 2 hunter, and I was like, yes,
Yeah.
more. When does Cade 6 come out to give her the cape? By the way,
God,
I know
that show.
pretty much everyone's fallen off the Destiny 2 wagon. Sneaky,
Rip
they're
Cade
trying
6.
to get all of the hunters to accept that the dickhead that killed Cade is the new Hunter Vanguard.
What?
When do I get a Hunter Vanguard rebellion?
What? Wait, they
Yeah.
didn't kill him off?
No. Okay, no. So at the end of I forget which expansion it was,
Or
but
it
at one of
says
the
you're full-
expansions.
Or it says you're full of shit. So I'm gonna believe
No,
Aura.
dude, they're leaning super hard into making him the Hunter Vanguard.
I'm gonna
like-
believe Aura over Corrupt Atin.
It's true. Atin is corrupt.
So anyway, back
Excuse
to
me
the
while
back
I
to the garbage
source
ass
this.
story that Stanish is no longer here for.
Yep.
The Arc Dragons. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Before I even start this.
Oh, this is just supposed to be pure Ruby as well.
Ah! All right, I'm ready.
Amazing.
The Arc Dragon. I linked this in the chat, right? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think
Okay, no, hold on a minute. It is not implied vaguely. It is implied quite heavily.
Many different secrets came to the light that night. However, the most unexpected, perhaps, was John Arc's secret. It's one thing to discover something about
there's
an
an
enemy.
entire point. Hold on. There's an
Yeah.
entire bit where Zavala, after he finds out who, so he's been running around disguised as the Crow. The dickhead jumps in front of a blow meant for Zavala and frees his ghost. And at the end of the whole thing, after Zavala finds out who he is, he still offers him a position as an official guardian and gives him a task of hunting down some scions, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, he's accepted him and offered him an official position as guardian. Like, they're going to make him the Hunter Vanguard.
Didn't the Warlock chick say she was gonna murder the shit out of that dude?
Yeah, and she better.
cool story, but who cares?
Yeah, so anyway, back to this story. It is one thing to discover something about an enemy. It's another something else. Wait, what?
What? Hang on.
There's something.
Oh, it's something else.
Yeah, it's something else. Oh, yeah, it's.
Are you okay, Sneaky?
Max, I have consumed nearly 2 liters of vodka.
Oh, walk it off.
I am
Actually, sit there and metabolize it in a few minutes,
It's
as you will.
currently under the influence. I'm gonna walk it off by the end of this podcast, but until then, I'm gonna be a little bit drunk.
I mean, you got another, what, 40 minutes, 50 minutes?
Hold on, I just gotta remember how to open my eyes. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Probably helps.
I have
You will
figured
at least
it out.
assume so. Amazing. Proud of you.
Where was I? It's another. Wait, it's something else when you learn that your friends is actually than a classroom. Urban city life be like.
Wait. Is this Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Yeah, John turns
John's
into Clifford the Big Red Dog.
It's a better story, changed my mind.
You can't. That's true.
I mean, hold on a second. Ruby Giantess stories is already a thing, so.
That's not the direction I was leaning in, but okay. Now, that being said, I do think, like,
Arn
Gulliver's
dies in the
Travels
background.
Ruby Edition could be fucking hilarious.
I don't even know what you said, but I'll agree with it.
What do you mean? Gulliver's Travels?
Dude, I am so out of it, right? You have no idea how much alcoholism
It's a
I
literary
consume.
classic, you Philistine.
I know what Gulliver's Travels is. Fuck off. When you learn something of your friends larger than the classroom, and such secrets tend to raise following questions about true intentions, friendships, and what you believe. Honest, actually, to be real, if like I was friends with someone in some sort of death world, right? We're on a death world. My friend is like, actually, I'm a giant fucking dragon, and I'm like, well, those exist? That'd be my reaction. I would be like, oh my god, what? Can I really be friends with you still? I'd be like, those fucking exist? You know, that's like something I have to actually worry about? Fuck.
How many more of you are there? And how many are friendly and hostile?
Are we talking like everyone's disguised as a human? Because like that's gonna make shit so much fucking harder.
How do I kill you all?
I don't think people would be ready for my reaction to my group friend being like, hey, I'm actually a dragon. Because it wouldn't be like, oh my god, you're a dragon. I'd be like, oh fuck, how many more dragons are there?
What's your weakness? How do I kill you?
Hold on. Like, are you working alone here? Is this like a multi-plan thing? Am I gonna have to worry about dying tonight?
I mean, you should, but
the joke is that I don't worry about dying. That's the joke? Is that I worry about dying every night? Actually,
He's always
no,
dying.
you don't. It's not like you worry about anything.
no, I actually go to bed every night praying that I don't wake up. But that's sort of worrying about.
That's
already
Sneaky.
in
That is
worry.
not a worry. That
Okay,
is a hope.
Sneaky, you're
Oh,
not
that's right.
worried about dying every night. You're worried about waking up in the morning.
You know what? That's a fair point. I'm worried that I'm
Worried
not
about
gonna
not
die
dying.
every night. There we go. That covers it. I don't know. I think I think it's a little bit different. Like if I was killed in my sleep by a dragon, I think that would hit a little bit different than if I was killed in my sleep by just like dying in my sleep because like my body decided to finally like realize that it was dead or something. I think being like suffocated to death by a dragon would be pretty pathetic. If I had to die to a dragon, I would want it to be like fighting the dragon and not because the dragon was like, ah shit, I'm gonna like stab him in the throat while he's sleeping.
I'm sorry. You said suffocate. I just had an image of a dragon just daintily holding a pillow between two claws against you.
Yes.
It's
the only way their strength could match mine.
No, like here's the other thing. Like they just kind of like push the wing down over you. Like they try it with the pillow and they're like, I can't. And they're like, they just put the wing over you.
Smother him with the wing. Fucking suffocate, you bastard. Yeah. Dragon kills you with sex.
I mean, yes.
Mm.
We know your degenerate mind went there.
Yeah.
I think was it the third? Yeah, I think the third Shadowrun RPG that got released by Harebrained Schemes had a pretty good reaction to the dragon. Was that the second one or the third one? I think it was
I think it's the second one with the dragon. Yeah, because that's the one with the crazy Aztec stuff.
Yep. The second one with the dragon was straight up just like, hold on a second, you're the dragon's consciousness. Yes, but you're not a dragon right now. True. What if I just killed you right now? I would die. Yeah. But you'd be dead. Yes, I would be dead. Alright, so how about I don't kill you, and you don't kill me? That sounds like a great deal. Excellent, we're doing that.
There's also the option when you finally see the real dragon for your character to just go, holy fuck, a dragon! I want to leave! And the dragon literally goes, you are the most sensible human I have ever met. Unfortunately, that's not an option.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the writing of all 3 Shadowrun. I love the writing.
Mad props to the dragon who just goes,
you know what,
who
fair
just
enough.
looks at you and goes, that is the most sensible thing ever.
Sneaky will be invincible until he loses virginity. Well, jeez, I have some bad news then.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
I'm gonna fucking ascend to an 8th level wizard. Some bad fucking news for you.
At some point, Sneaky will finally attain the Diamond Soul and no longer feel the effects of aging or his many diseases.
Exactly. So anyway, 8 chapters, 51k words, 1,000 to 100 favorites, roughly around 283 reviews. It updated for approximately 3 years, and the author has gone silent since then. So the story is a pure Ruby story, as it so claims. It started. Beacon was ablaze. As a team, Juniper ran from the landing platforms and into the school. Ren couldn't help but take it all in. By the way, this is all one sentence. I don't know why. Everywhere he looked, all he could see was destruction, fires burning, and Grim ravaging school buildings. Because apparently Grim just randomly attacks school buildings instead of people.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, man.
That building had it fucking
activity of the workers.
That fucking cement had it coming.
Listen, alright. You know what? That'd be interesting, actually. Like, oh, we just send workers every day to this building so that their negative energy seeps into the concrete.
Wait, what's this building over here? Oh, that's the workers' barracks. Why is it so far away? Because it's inevitably going to become haunted by the malicious feelings of the workers because we don't pay them enough. So we kind of just keep them all over there, just to make sure that any sort of building-based possession that takes place is contained. Fair enough. Right.
I mean, I think one of my personal favorites is the Imperium's method of preventing possessions. We'll just make them all so tired, bored, and depressed that any demon that comes anywhere near them will just go, holy shit, I don't want to be here.
Cool.
That is certainly an interesting method.
Wait,
no, seriously.
Who in the Imperium does that?
That's part of what all the process of the Hive Cities is to make them so tired and beaten down and soullessly crushed that they don't have time to do anything else. They don't
unfortunately, that does tend to backfire, though, because either they're, like, completely immune to chaos, or they become full-blown chaos worlds, like, in over, like, the span of a day.
Well, here's the thing. More of them are immune than not. That's the thing. Like, sure. When a planet does fall to chaos, it falls to chaos hard. But, like, right? They go on to, like, well-established hive cities that have been there for 300-400 years. And even when they infiltrate the entirety of nobility, it's still like, okay, so we've been on this planet for, like, 300 years, and we've made a tiny bit of headway into controlling the government. But if we do anything too too out there, the entire populace will still revolt and kill us all.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah.
Sounds
So,
like a real deal.
It works. That's the thing. It works. And there are I forget which, there was a Prince of Change that got so annoyed from visiting Hive Worlds that he just decided he was not coming to the material realm anymore. He just wasn't good. It didn't matter how good a vessel it was. It didn't matter how much she could do. It was so drab and so boring. He was not coming back because those awful Hive cities.
You know what? Can't blame him from what you've described.
Oh, I can't either. I'm just saying it's the funniest And how did this man avoid demonic possession? By being the most sad, boring, depressed person alive. That worked? It worked super well.
Anyway, start with the story, shall we?
Yeah, please.
So,
More is madman rant anymore.
yeah, can't really rant anymore. Actually, hate about jeez. Hold on, one quick little rant. Talking about what the author does. Let's see how this does. It's supposed to be fast, but while writing, I added more details. Initially, the breach was going to be one chapter, but now it's more chapters, like 5 of them.
You didn't have to. Also.
Wait, why?
That's quite unnecessary of you.
The breach was barely an episode.
Yeah,
It was one episode, and they cleaned it up.
I'm not really sure how
super
you're
quick.
supposed to make this multiple chapters. Like, I could so maybe like the John fight, whatever turns him into a dragon. I guess the Blake and Yang and abusive boyfriend fight. And I guess Ruby and Kira versus Cinder fight. 1, 2, 3,
That's
4. I mean, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. You are challenged or I'm going to. So yeah, everything's on fire. We absently noted the tree that Juniper studied under had been torn out of the ground and then set on fire. That is just why?
Fuck you, tree. Fuck that tree in particular.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. It was unbelievable. The terrorists showed up and did terrorism stuff. Ren could only stare at all the chaos as it reminded him of his homeland that was destroyed in this exact sort of event. And then Nora knocked him out of his daze, and he loved his team a bunch, and so did Nora love her team a bunch. And then a grim dragon exploded out of the mountains, which apparently was where the grim dragon was sleeping, because of course it was.
Vibe.
The monstrous grim had been huge. Ren wasn't having a good day. The large beast let out a shriek that echoed across Beacon. They had Nora and Pyrrha by his side. He relaxed, they all stood together. Team Juniper is now unified and ready to take on the world. Pyrrha, for some reason, didn't abandon her team in this AU. I mean, okay, I guess.
Well, I mean, if Sean is indeed a dragon, assuming they find out before this event, I'd probably stick with the dragon too.
Generally speaking, it is better to be working for the dragon than not working for the dragon.
I don't think the dragon particularly cares.
Yeah, okay, but Sneaky, would you rather the dragon be positively ambivalent or negatively ambivalent to you?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Like, right? At least if the dragon looks at me and goes, that's a useful sack of meat," I am less likely to get destroyed.
True.
Ooh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Anyway, John was not shaking. He looked calm and collected, and it was something they had never seen from John before. So, John wasn't pretending to be retarded, guys. He was actually retarded all along.
Amazing.
Pyrrha? Where is she going? And then Pyrrha just ran away from them for no apparent reason.
There's the cannon.
Yep. And then as Pyrrha's running away and her team didn't know why they were running away, John turned to Nora and said, "Nora, follow Pyrrha to Ozpin. Find out what's going on." What? Wait. What?
Indeed.
Wait, so Pyrrha lands among your group and then starts walking off to go somewhere else, and John's just like, she's meeting up with Ozpin, sneak into his facility and find out all the information.
Yes, that seems logical.
Among Us to infiltrate.
Yeah, it's
BD
like,
poster.
okay, buddy. Okay.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among
Actually summarize a decent section of this chapter.
Yeah.
Just the author just spurting. And then John's like, "Hey guys, you gotta trust me. I'm gonna do something. No one is allowed to get hurt. I'm gonna ban you all as team leader from getting hurt."
Yes, that's how this works.
Yeah, that's how this works. You make it illegal to get hurt in the criminal. Better follow the wall.
Yeah.
Well, we can't hurt them. He said we can't.
Yeah.
You know,
That would be
John
illegal.
said we're not allowed to hurt them anymore.
That's
So
the
speaking of which, Max, I want to get your opinion on this, and since I don't really particularly care about the Ruby story we're currently covering, I'm just going to ask you now, before I forget and pass out from my drug-addled podcasting behavior. How do you feel about John's semblance being Bard-inspired?
I mean, I guess that makes it slightly more useful than he has to be touching someone in order to boost their aura. So, is he still going to be a socially awkward dork?
He's gonna be a socially awkward psychon that never really put any effort into becoming anything, because he was kind of always just expected to become the next head of the family. So he was kind of just like, well, I'm just gonna play video games a bunch, and oh wait, I want to be a hero now. Also, I have to kind of go to this school because I'm an alumni.
Well, he's not the alumni. His dad's an alumni.
Yeah, well, he's the son of an alumni, which is a thing, unfortunately, in American schools.
Yeah.
And so my whole idea for John was that because not many families can support having 13 or 11 or how many kids?
8 kids.
8 kids.
John and his 7. It's John and then his 7 sisters.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I mean, fucking at that point they might not have stopped. He just maybe stopped counting. But anyway, so John. John and his 7 sisters. Not many families can support having 8 kids while also out in the boonies of a death world. So I kind of just had it be like, yeah, the arcs, because they're also recognizable, are kind of like basically landed knights.
Yeah. By the way, it was so fucking weird when we came out with the Ruby theming. It's like, oh, Jean Arc is meant to be Jean d'Arc, but he also has 7 siblings as if they were the 7 dwarves for Snow White. And then White Schnee
Wow.
only has 2 siblings, but she has a butler who supposedly has 7 separate personalities.
Yeah.
Even though we've only seen 3 of them, I think.
Schizophrenia. But yeah, the 7 sisters thing is actually another. It's not just the 7 dwarves. I don't know if that's just canon confirmed, but there's at least one from up here where there's some guy with 7 sisters, and they do, standard fairy tale shit. But that's like legit.
I
Yeah.
mean, Disney clearly rips off from a lot of different sources.
Oh yeah, they just fucking steal and combine all that shit. But it's not just Disney.
Right.
There are legit, actual historical old fairy tales with that theming.
Yeah, I hear you. Yep.
Yep. As someone who
anyway,
has some
John's
contact with
like,
stuff.
all right, John, breathe. Spawner, Pyrrha's run away.
I'm back. What I miss?
I'm surrounded by people who have questions. If I turn into a dragon right now, questions that I can't answer because I don't know how I'm turning into a dragon. Now what do? I can't leave the spawn dragon alive. That break the dragon accords.
What?
Excuse me?
What in God's name did I come back to?
John is about to call artillery strikers on grid coordinates.
Sounds like a plan.
God, I fucking wish this author called an article on their own grid coordinates.
Yeah.
They
should.
John had a panic attack where he's like, there's a dragon spawning Grim, and if I turn into a dragon now, I'll have to answer questions that I don't want to about how I'm a dragon. But if I don't turn into a dragon and kill the dragon that's spawning Grim, that will break the secretive dragon accords that all the dragons of Remnant make with each other to guarantee the death of all Grim spawning dragons. Yeah. I'm not really sure on that one either. And he's like, wow, breathe, kill Grim, plan, make plan. You good at plan. You can make plan. Just think of best way to make plan and protect everyone. Without losing, of course. Is bad.
Losing is cringe.
Let's see, I have a plan. It's a terrible plan. I'm going to tell the people my plan. So everyone's fighting White Fang, Grim, and sometimes the Grim even fight the White Fang. Blah blah. What's the plan, John? Well, let's fight them.
Wow. Amazing.
Outstanding plan, John. Ren noticed that John was really off today. He noticed that
Could it be because he's a dragon?
Yes!
No way, dude.
He noticed that John was not focused
What a
entirely
twist.
on what was going on.
Okay, now hold on a minute. That is standard practice for that stupid kid.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Except this time around, he's hyper competent. Except for all the parts where he's not hyper competent.
Amazing.
I see.
Yeah. Indeed.
So he's hyper competent, except when he isn't.
He's hyper competent, except for all the times that him being hyper competent would actually advance the story in a positive manner.
Yeah, that would be inconvenient.
Yeah,
Can't have
that'd be
that.
inconvenient as hell. People just, walking in, attacking you with doll hands.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Average Tuesday.
Maybe. You're British.
True. Britney's down. Be like that.
Even then, John did not whisper his whispers, for he was never known for panic whispering in a quiet manner.
So he panic whispered in a loud manner? Like, Arthur, come on!
Yes, you see, he did, obviously, duh. Blah, 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 blah. None of this shit fucking actually matters. Blah, blah, blah. Filler, blah, blah, blah. John was desperate because Weiss was hot.
True.
I really wish I was fucking joking, but this is all real.
Society. We live in it. Oh god, there's still 20 fucking minutes left. What the
Was
hell?
that why he was panicking? Staying with Weiss? What about you? What was he planning to do again? John's face morphed into a bitter smile. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I'm planning on killing a dragon. Ren's eyes widened as he opened his mouth in shock, when a cry from Velvet stole their attention. The paladin got a lucky punch and punched the faunus right in the face, causing her to land hard on the ground, separating her from the group of students she was protecting. John cursed and pushed Ren away. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. John cursed and pushed Ren away from him as he turned, sprinting towards the paladin, throwing his sword away from his body as he ran. So I wasn't reading that wrong. John is just like, oh no, Velvet's been punched into the face, and then just pushes Ren off a cliff. What? Wait, does someone more sober than me want to explain what the fuck is going on?
I would if I could.
I don't know. I don't know.
This isn't worth it.
Don't look at me, I got no idea.
Okie dokie.
Here we go.
Oh, hold on. I think he's trying to do the whole epic druid sprint transformation thing.
That would make sense.
Where, like, the druid's running at the enemy, and then, like, halfway through his run, he, like, turns into a bear or some shit, and, like, runs into the enemy then as a bear.
Oh, that stupid thing.
Yeah.
I'm really oh my god!
I don't regret playing that live.
Good. That fucking stream, man. So good.
And then Weiss is like, you stupid shit, what the fuck are you doing? Screamed Weiss as she ran in a wide arc around the paladin, glyphs appearing beneath her feet as she ran, boosting her forward to try and save new paragraph. Velvet, new paragraph. What?
Oh.
Is there a formatting issue here?
No. I don't know. Maybe. Ren ran towards the wall, unsure of what to make of his brainless leader. What?
Oh.
John paid no attention to either of them, sprinting as fast as he could to get to the paladin. And then, from above them all, the grim dragon let out another shriek. Crap, 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 crap. Okay, no better plan. Time to go with plan stupid as hell. It'll be good. I hope. Alright, showtime. Let's not accidentally kill all my friends.
Please do. That would be funny.
That would be an ending. Weiss was furious. What did that brainless leader of Team Juniper think he was doing? Charging straight in without backup? Was he trying to die? Then again, she really wasn't one to talk, since she was running in to do effectively the same thing as him. Well, at least she had her weapon. I guess that was something.
As opposed to
As opposed to Jean, Jean threw his sword away, so...
Oh.
I'm not really sure why he threw his sword away, because if any of the things on his body are going to stick around, it would be the magical sword. Just, you know...
It's,
Food for thought.
It's a shame, apparently. It's just a normal-ass sword.
Yeah, it's just a normal sword that can reform out of blood and drain people and heal you. Other than that,
did you get the idea that his sword does that?
I don't know. Kind of threw that in there because I'm sure the author's gonna make whatever I say be completely irrational in response to whatever he does. Throwing that out there. Can I also just say that I'm really disappointed that they never really actually made use of John's canon semblance in Ruby? Just like, oh yeah, he healed Weiss like once.
They stopped taking stupid pills and were like, oh yeah, Jean's semblance is super useful since it just boosts people's natural aura. So they're like using Ren to hide from Grim in large crowds for the evacuation and shit.
Wait,
they started using it.
Hold on. Didn't they like get rid of that though? Like, didn't they?
Get rid of what?
I thought they retconned that Grim were attracted to people and not the volume anymore.
What do you
I
mean?
don't know. I don't care either.
What do you mean by volume?
Like, you throw a grenade and it ticks down and then explodes. Where if you threw a landmine, it would like explode when people ran over it. My brain's a little bit scrambled right now. I'm trying to figure
Your
out.
brain is incredibly scrambled.
Yeah.
Let me try and think here.
That was never a retcon, or that was never even confirmed as far as I'm aware.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, right, the Grim. Right, yeah, the Grim. No, the Grim were originally attracted to emotions, and then they had Ren use his semblance to hide them all because their emotions were now being hidden. And then later on, they had the Grim being attracted to just people or something.
Does people have emotions?
Yeah, but it wasn't like emotions. Like I remember specifically complaining about how they retconned it because it made Ren's semblance invalid. I'm pretty sure if you even go to our Discord and you type in like Ren's semblance invalid, you'll get when I was complaining about it.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't bother keeping much of Ruby's stuff, like, memorized at this point.
I don't either. That's why I'm kind of like in gibberish mode right now, as I'm trying to like piece together random shit that I fucking remember from Ruby to try and remember what I hate about Ruby. Oh, I stopped drinking, by the way. Now I'm like sobering up, unfortunately. I don't know if that has come across at all. Probably
Sadly.
hasn't.
Sadly,
No, it probably really hasn't. But now I'm like, oh, they retconned that Grimm. Oh yeah, Grimm are now attracted to aura. Yes. Okay. Go. Retconned it.
Yeah.
The Grimm are now attracted to strong auras. Okay.
Aura better run. We're gonna get raped by a fucking Grimm.
Wait, okay, did they retcon that they're attracted to it, or did they retcon it so that they are attracted to strong auras? Because I'm gonna be honest,
it's a retcon, I believe, because as far as we were the longest time, Grimm were just attracted to emotions, and then they had the scene on the train where Ren proceeds to cover the whole train in his anti-emotion aura, and that lets the Grimm lose
okay,
them.
well, there's the problem, Aura. That's a side novel.
Yeah,
that
isn't
was
the side
also
novels
a
canonized?
theory.
Who gives a
That
shit?
was, yeah, probably. No, yeah, it is until Miles Carey says it's not. Because remember, they play fast and loose with canon on anything that's not in the show.
No, I know they do, but I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure Miles himself announced the side novel and was like, "Hey, this guy is gonna cover shit that we never got in the show."
Either way, yeah, that's in the side novel that I didn't read because I don't give enough of a fuck, and it doesn't matter because that's been a fan theory for a long time because it makes sense based on what we were told about the world and Aura.
Yeah, it's funny how much shit they don't do when it makes sense, and how much shit they do when it doesn't make sense.
So yes, them being like strong. Well, in that case, no, Ren's semblance doesn't become useless due to that because presumably Ren's aura is not that strong.
It can cover an entire fucking moving train. Of course, it's fucking strong.
No, the problem, Sneaky, is that we don't have enough scaling on auras. We don't know how inefficient or efficient his semblance is supposed to be.
Fair enough, that's true. Apparently, it was very difficult for him. That's all we know. That's all I also remember. Is that it was a lot of effort for Ren to do this.
I see.
And then they like disconnected the train or something.
Something happened on a train, and
oh no, I remember that. No, weren't they attracted to the lamp? No, I think I remember what happened. Everybody on the train was scared, so they took the lamp to the front of the train as bait. Ren. Sorry. Wow, good job, Ren. Ren cloaked the rest of the. If I remember correctly, Ren cloaked the rest of the train.
Man, that would fucking change the story, wouldn't it? Ren fucking Tosaka taking the place of Ren.
It would be a much better story. And then they cut the lash as he cloaked the cars. They cut those train cars loose, and that's how they got split up. Because he stayed back there to cloak them, and they went ahead with the lamp, so all the Grimm went for the lamp, and they left the cars alone.
Right, so powerful aura are like Grimm magnets, causing them to drop their original targets in favor of the more powerful supply. As if they are moths to a flame, it's unclear whether this is merely unlocked aura or locked aura. It's specifically only human and faunus aura, despite animals also having it. Alright. The other thing I have to mention is that, I'm gonna complain about. Oh, the relic. The relic is canonically a Grimm magnet as well.
Yes.
Yep.
That was part of what they did.
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
That was really dumb, man. It never made much sense unless like it was constantly outputting emotions or some shit, which means it was sentient, which I could be like, okay, fine, fair enough then. But it was kind of just dead in the water until suddenly it was something, and they needed a new Deus Ex Machina for the heroes to do whatever they were gonna do. So, that was the thing, I suppose. Yeah, so anyway, this story's garbage. John turns into a fucking dragon, and then everyone's like, oh my god, John, you turned into a fucking dragon. Everyone's like, oh wow, John turned into a big fucking dragon, WTF, mate. And then John said, I'm firing my laser, and he shots the laser at the dragon that isn't him. And that dragon dies, and then he lands, and he's like, yo, what's up, humans? I am John, the friendly dragon. Please don't shoot me. And then Weiss is like, oh man, my loins are watering at the idea of John Dragon. I'm going to join his harem now.
Dragging these nuts, Lamau.
Yeah. So the author really likes doing these mini interlude sections where it's solely first person point of view, John's narrative thoughts about a situation. Just abstractly just jumps to John having done all the shooting and stuff already, and then jumps back to John having killed everyone and is now not a dragon anymore. But still dragging these nuts because it's by someone else. For reasons or something, I don't know. It's garbage story is what I'm playing. Just fucking feel free to read it, like, I don't care. Fucking shit ass story, the fucking shit ass concept of what if John was a dragon? Fucking, I don't know, man. Maybe he's a dragon and I don't know, he fucking kills people or something. What if he didn't kill people? It's like, what is that? How does that change anything then? Oh man, he's a werewolf, except he's like a were-dragon instead of a werewolf. Oh, wow. Fascinating. Or something, I don't know. It's a fucking garbage story. Read it at your own peril, because it was so uninteresting. Not even drinking more alcohol could make me interested in it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really was. It was literally just a rehash of the invasion chapter, except the author stretched it out to make sure to include every single fucking neighbor in the entire town. Part of his impact report, individually, one by one. Yeah, so anyway, I was just gonna say fuck it and end it here, because I don't really have something that I can go for 5 more minutes on about. It's just all the stories tonight were just bad. I'm glad I started drinking, because all of the stories I was going to pick tonight were just fucking awful. I was going to end up drinking anyway, but now I don't even remember any of them. And it's just, honestly, it just really benefits me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that one. So yeah, blah 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 blah. Yep.
I'm gonna go get dinner.
Yeah. See you all, folks. See you folks all next time, because there is always more. It does always get worse.